Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, in today's video, we are going to see what do you mean by virtual short and virtual ground concept in case of op-amp. The virtual short and virtual ground concept having its own importance in case of op-amp, as we are going to use the same concept in many applications. So let's see what is virtual short concept. If we consider op-amp as the ideal one op-amp, then we know that the input resistance of op-amp or input impedance of the op-amp Ri is infinite. That means ideally its value is infinite and practically its value is 2 mega ohms. So as if we consider op-amp as ideal one, we are going to use Ri as infinite resistance. As the value of Ri is infinite, then the current flowing to the input terminals of op-amp becomes 0. As Ri is infinite, the voltage dropped across the input terminal of op-amp becomes 0. We know that output voltage of op-amp is proportional to the difference between the input voltage applied to the inverting and non-inverting terminal of op-amp. So VO is equals to AD or AV into VD. We know that the open loop gain of op-amp, that is AV or AD, is infinite. Therefore, we can say VD becomes equals to 0. That is V1 is equals to V2, which is equals to 0. That means if the input resistance of op-amp is infinite, then both the terminal will be at the same potential. This is called as virtual short concept. There is no actual physical connection exist between the two input terminal, but due to the high infinite resistance and due to the high infinite open loop gain, both the terminals of the op-amp becomes at the same potential, or we can say the potential difference between the two terminals become equals to 0. This concept is called as virtual short concept. So in short, it is nothing but when both the terminal are at same potential, then we can say that they are internally virtually shorted with respect to each other. Now let's move to the concept of virtual ground. In case of virtual ground, if inverting terminal, that means negative terminal of op-amp, is connected to ground, then according to the virtual short concept, the non-inverting terminal of op-amp become also connected to ground. Similarly, if the non-inverting terminal of op-amp is connected to ground, then as per virtual ground concept, the inverting terminal will be also at the same potential. That means we can say the inverting terminal get also connected to ground. So this is what about the virtual ground and virtual short concept of op-amp. There is no physical connection exists between two terminals, but only due to the high input impedance and high open loop gain, both the terminal become at the same potential. So if one terminal is connected to ground, the other become also connected to ground. That is called as virtual ground concept. And when V1 is equals to V2 is equals to 0, or when V1 is equals to V2, then we can say that the terminals are internally shorted with each other. That is nothing but virtual short concept. So these two concepts having very much importance. So these two concepts having its own importance in various applications of op-amp, like if we consider the closed loop configuration of op-amp, then in case of inverting and non-inverting amplifier configuration, or in case of adder, subtractor and integrator differentiator, this concept having their own importance. So I hope you understand the concept of virtual ground and virtual short. So thank you very much for watching this video. Stay tuned to Ekeeda, subscribe Ekeeda. Thank you.